Excellent. So thank you guys all so much for coming. I really appreciate you spending your time to be with us today. All right. Okay, so happy month end, and we have some congratulations in order. So Jenna Gray, who is on the call, has promoted to director. Woohoo! So happy for you. You had this goal right from the very beginning, and you totally owned it. And you should see her whiteboard of like counting down numbers, teammates, everything. So I hope you took today to celebrate, and especially tomorrow, because just wait till you see in consultant connection and stuff like that, it's going to flip over to director, and you're going to see your team under there. So that's like a huge moment when your title actually changes, which will take a few days. Hey Sherry, thanks for joining us. Yay. And we also have another new, and yeah, Jen has only been with the company since May 20th. So you can literally promote in 1 month. You can promote in literally a week, actually, which is really crazy. We have another promotion, and that is Tanya Hagel. So super excited for her. When you promote, when you lose your directorship, so say you hit director 1 month, you can technically go the next month and the next month without hitting it. And then it's the 3rd month you have to hit it again. But obviously we all want to be paid a title, because what's the point in getting the promotion if you're not getting the paycheck that goes with it? So if you do happen to lose directorship, you have to recruit 5 brand new people. So she recruited 5 new people, and she lost it September last year, and she said, damn you, September, I'm getting it back this month. So pretty cool that exactly a year later she said, let's do this. We also have some people who are finishing up their team leader qualifications this month. So I will be announcing those once they are official tomorrow. So congratulations, everybody. So for week 1, and I see Jen is drinking wine, as you deserve to. That a girl. I'm having tea. There, I have a Starbucks beverage. None today. You could not go out in that. So week 1, we covered bookings. So our goal, especially if we're looking to promote, is a minimum of 4 bookings per week for virtual, and as many live as you can get if you wanted to do 1 a week or whatever your goal is. But the reason we want to do at least 4 virtuals per week is that 1 is automatically, it might be a dud, 1 might be like $200, 1 might be fantastic, and 1 might be average. So you always want to make sure you're doing at least 4 a week. That's like the magic sauce, so that you're going to be hitting all the sales promotions and working towards growing your business and your team and getting more in front of more contacts. Last week we covered host coaching, and this week we're going to talk about recruiting and how to offer the business and the recruiting interview and kind of what to say to people about the business. So you know how in September we did the big ask? After this, I'm going to do a draw for the big ask. 1 more draw. Well, next month, we're going to do something similar, except we're going to call it the share the love. So whenever you ask somebody about the business, you can post it with a hashtag that says share the love. So what your goal is going to be per virtual party is you want to try and have 3 2-way conversations about the business. So how you can start having these conversations is you'll see in the template that we've posted, there's those Ask Me Anything games, or there is also Guess My Paycheck. So anybody who responds on those, you can directly message them and say, are you interested in hearing more about were you interested in party tickets, or are you interested in making real cash? I just love that one. And then of course, asking our host 5 times. So I've just started to adopt this like really truly this month, and I cannot believe how many people I recruited on the 5th ask. So I think I'm signing up my 7th or 8th person this in a few hours here because of asking the host 5 times. Krista Beakley just wrote me, and she said they were going through their host stuff with her host, and the host was saying like, oh, I wish I could afford more. And Krista said it was her 5th ask, and her host was like, okay, fine, let's just do this. I do need to make some more money. I can't afford everything that I want. So asking the host 5 times is huge. So I cannot say that enough. So only 5% of people are actually going to say yes the first time that we ask. So we just have to remember that. You guys have your trackers by any chance? So we're looking for 25 two-way conversations per week, or 5 two-way conversations per day for 5 days. And we're looking for at least 7 of those to be, and then 7 others to be recruiting conversations. So if you were doing 4 virtual parties in a week, you're looking for at least 3 two-way conversations per week. So those are kind of the numbers. So in order to start talking about the business, one of your homework assignments is going to be your apron story, or your why. So what is your why? So why did you start, and why do you stay? Which are normally 2 totally different things. Your stay story needs to be for 2 emotional reasons and 1 financial reason. So if you guys can write on the group, your why, so why you started and why you stay. This is so relatable. So I find the magic number when I'm signing people is when I talk about the business 3 times. Once is when I am opening the show. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope that we're going to make some Jamaican jerk nachos. I invite you to watch what I do. I guarantee you can do the exact same thing. And the best part is you get me to help you start. And then the next time is you want to relate to people and tell them why you started, but you don't want to be like only relating to a certain target market. So say you started to stay at home with your kids, you don't want to just talk about that. Like, I love that I can stay home with my kids, because then you're missing all those guys out there that want to start, or people who love their full-time job. So you kind of want to hit on a few different reasons why people on the team started. Like, oh, there's a gal on the team who started. She loves her job, but it's kind of like a tough job. She's a paramedic, so she kind of likes Pampered Chef because it's her fun job. Or we've had a lot of people start on the team who have a mountain of debt, and they've been able to pay that off. So you're trying to advertise to a broad range. So planting the seed is huge. So you won't believe this in your business. You'll plant the seed and you'll say something to somebody like, have you ever thought about doing something like this? I thought of you because you're always posting awesome baking photos. You'll find that people will come back around to you in months down the road because you've planted that seed. So when you invite people to the business, you also want to interview them. So I like to keep it really simple. If they live in town, I'll be like, well, why don't you just let me take you for a coffee? I personally love being taken for coffee. And if someone says they want to take me for a coffee, I don't really care what they have to say. I will be taken for a coffee. So you can meet up with them. And the biggest trick when you're meeting with somebody to talk about the business, and don't feel like you have to have been around for a long time, or that you are too new to meet with somebody. What I like to focus on with talking to people and taking them for a coffee is I just like to ask them questions. So I say, like, do you have any Pampered Chef stuff? What interests you about Pampered Chef? Where do you work now? So you're kind of building a relationship with these people. At your virtual parties and your live shows, you really need to focus on small talk and getting to know people. Have you ever heard have you ever heard the saying that nobody will turn down the opportunity to talk about themselves? So the more questions that you can ask people, the more they feel like you actually care what you have to say. Mish did an awesome presentation like this at our leadership retreat, just letting us know that, the more you let people talk about themselves, the more it makes people feel like you actually genuinely care about them. And as Tara pointed out, not only asking them the questions, but listening to their response, instead of being like, okay, yeah, you ask a question and then you go on about yourself. Really asking people questions about themselves. And then if somebody's hesitant and they come at you with some objections, you can say to them, what one that's been working for me is, tell me more about that. I've just been learning to ask more questions. So tell me more about that, or what's keeping, if you have somebody who's been a fence sitter for a while, or you've talked to, they'd be awesome at this, but they just don't feel like they could do it. You can just ask them straight up, like, what's keeping you from giving this a try? Or sometimes people will say to me, it's not the right time. Anybody heard that one before? I feel like I've heard that one a lot lately. It's just not the right time. Then I'll say to them, if this isn't the right time, what would the right time look like? And often they'll go, well, guess it won't look like anything different than right now. Another one too is, say if you're going back and forth with somebody about the business, is a really good one to say is, do you have any other questions, or are you ready to order your kit? Sometimes you'll send information on the business and you won't hear back. That's my favorite sentence I send to people. Do you have any more questions, or do you want to know how to order your kit? And then all you do is send them a link. They're like, I think I'm ready to order my kit. Send them the Be the Consultant link and just let them sign up. Don't complicate it. So it actually takes a lot of the pressure off you if you're taking somebody for a coffee too, when you're asking them questions about their life, why they like Pampered Chef. And then I normally, for my recruiting paperwork, I normally just bring a catalog and be like, which kit do you think that you'd like to get? Which kit excites you? So kind of focus more on the kits than anything else. And then once they kind of decide, or I'll say to them, if we were to do your first show, would a weekend or a weeknight work best? We could find a date that works for both of us. And from there, you're going to get a shopping spree and a paycheck. See what else we got here. So if you are, she's saying to text you're in your text or your messenger conversations, check your word count. So if you see more than 2 or 3 sentences, edit it. You're talking too much. So you want to keep it really simple and kind of like, why wouldn't you sign up? Like, you just want to answer them really briefly on things. So you don't want to vomit. Sometimes we know that we're so excited about the business, like, oh my God, you have to sign in, there's this new blender, and going on and on and on. Instead, often people just want to know the facts of, how do I sign up? How much is the kit, and what are the minimums? Those are normally what people want to know. And how are you going to help me in this process? So don't feel like you need to tell them about their 1,500 and you're going to, of course we'll talk about their 1,500 once they sign up. And then of course the signing deal is the blender, but you don't have to really you don't want to confuse or overwhelm them at all. So overcoming objections. What are some objections? Oh, I'm going to unmute you guys. So if anyone's having a dance party, unmute all. What are some objections you guys have heard when it comes to recruiting?
I'm not good at selling stuff.
That's a good one. I love that one. That's one of my favorites.
No one will buy from me.
Time.
Yes. For I'm not good at selling stuff, I say Pampered Chef actually sells itself. Have you ever heard anybody who didn't like Pampered Chef? It takes about 30 years to have the brand recognition and positive association with the brand that Pampered Chef has. So, whenever I say Pampered Chef sells itself, they always go, oh, it's so true. Like, everyone loves it. One of my favorites is I don't have any time. I love that one. I'm like, yeah, who has time for anything? No. I always say to them, busy people are actually our most successful consultants. So somebody who has a really busy life is most likely, because you're just used to getting things done, hitting goals. Let's do this. More objections you guys have heard?
I can't afford it.
Oh yes, I can't afford it. Then you really need to be doing this broad. No. So that's a common one. And I'll say, we could start you with the 139 kit, and we're going to get the rest of your kit stuff at like either free or discounted. Or not everybody's comfortable doing this, but I will, if they're local, I will front their kit and ship it to me if we have a date booked for their party. You have to kind of feel the person out a little bit. So I'm doing that for a gal this month because for it. So I've never been burned on it so far. Don't come back at me if you are, but no, just kidding. But if you ship it to yourself, normally they want their things. But often I'll say to them, if you can't afford it, you really need to be doing this. We need to be making you some money. Let's get you the littlest kit, and we're going to get the rest. We're going to get from your first party. We're going to get your the rest of the stuff for you for free. Other objections? So a good way to which one? Sorry.
I have no friends.
I have no friends. Oh, that's a good one. So what I like to say to people is that one of my biggest jobs is to get you outside your friend and family circle. So I rarely do parties with people I know anymore. It's all with customers because we're going to get you outside of your friend and family circles with trade shows and networking. And that's kind of how you broaden your network. And so you're not just asking friends and family. Often friends and family are the first people to say no.
Right.
So you want to let people know, consultants, to calm them down. When they start asking for virtuals and they're getting people not responding, we need to let them know right away on your first call that you have with them that is 100% normal to hear no response and no. Because if you don't tell them that, they kind of feel like they're a failure right off the hop. Like, oh my gosh, I got like 10 people not responding to me. Where it was weird is like, next. So we need to manage their expectations and let them know that the most common response they're going to hear is no response or no. More objections?
My spouse won't let me do it.
Ooh, that's a tough one. So, yeah, I have often spoken to hosts on the phone, and you can let them know a little bit. I find what works best for men is to tell them a little bit about your story and that you have actually been successful doing this. And, for your average cooking show, you'd make on average about $200. So if you did about 2 or 3 a month, you'd be making about $500 a month. Normally when guys hear the actual bottom line, they're like, whoa, my wife could be bringing $500. Even if you've never recruited anybody, you can say things like, it is my job to make sure that your wife is successful. So I spend most of my day teaching people how to do Pampered Chef. I use that a lot. I say that I'm a professional consultant trainer. Even if you've never had anybody on your team, we're going to help that person get trained up and let them know that, we have an amazing team that's going to help them get trained up. And you're a professional consultant trainer. So a promotion can definitely happen next month. There are so many of you guys that are really gotten in on a roll. Is there anything that you guys learned in the last calls from either bookings or host coaching that you've applied in September that you've noticed a change in your business?
I asked my host 5 times, and on the 5th time, she said yes.
Yes!
Yeah. I didn't think it was possible, but I asked her 5 times. I had 3 going. 2 of them, 5, nope, still didn't want it. But the 3rd one said yes after 5 times of asking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else for bookings or host coaching or asking?
I find like I'm booking more shows from shows, which when I first started, I never did. Like it was so hard because it was like I was starting at ground zero every single month. Right. And now it's like by the time I finish half my month, I already have half the next month booked from those people. Like it's
You're
it's
in a row.
crazy. Yeah. And it's just then, yeah. And then like keeping like every single show asking people, like, if you book, like, let's get you a show, let's book you a show.
Nice. And that's just from direct messaging guests into virtual?
Yeah, just from direct messaging guests, or that thing that Christy had posted today about asking your hosts, or like,
Yes.
if you post this and book your 3. So that has worked really good. And then at my live cooking shows too, just like booking people right then, like, or getting a date on the calendar right then,
Yes.
or following up the next day, right? Because you already have their information, you already have their order. So then it's as simple as being like, hey, Andrea, like, met you last night at Janice's show and wanted to follow. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, I seriously have half of October booked just from September shows and asking people to book shows. And I never used to do that before. Like, I don't know why I was so scared to ask people to host a show.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Mind blowing.
Yes. So we always say that if you're looking to promote, so whatever level you're looking to promote to, so say you're looking to promote to director, we could find 5 people. It often happens in the last few days that you find the last, 2 or 3 people to join your team, or 5 people, but it's really hard to come up with the $6,000. So if you stack your calendar being like, I'm going to promote November 1st, so I'm going to promote in October, stack your calendar with a ton of bookings, as many as you can possibly get, and be like, I am promoting November 1st. You're gonna, because you have this like driven, this is exactly what Tanya and Jenna did, you will literally start to, be asking the 5 times. You're gonna be looking for 3-way conversations, looking for those people who are pumped up at your shows or at your virtual parties. And you're going to start to have people 2-way conversations about the business. And a lot of people, bless you, a lot of people are going to say say no, or that they're going to say yes initially, but just keep going. There's so many people out here that need Christmas paid for cash. We're literally.
The other thing I was going to say too is that if you're at a show and people are like, well, not right now, or I have to check my schedule, or, maybe closer to December, like, yeah, don't take it as a no, because I've gone back to those people now how many times, and then all of a sudden they want to book a show. So if somebody says no, it's not a no, it's a not right now. And then I write their name down, and then I go back and I'm like, hey, like, we met 3 months ago. Do you want to book a show? And like, honestly, that's where September came from, was every person in the summer that was like, no, was like, yes. So
Nice.
yeah.
And sometimes
awesome.
I'll hear the objection, oh, well, I just want to go back and like, I'm just going to put it out there to my friends. Oh, that drives me crazy. So I always say to them, let's find a date that works for you and I, because I'm nearly booked. And you'll find that you'll get a much better response from your friends if we have an actual date to throw at them. So if you say to them, would you like one day come to a Pampered Chef show? You'll find that people, you're going to get you're never going to hear from this person again. But if I say, hey, I'm available October 17th. Are you free that night? Perfect. Let's pencil it in. Go back to your friends and see if that date works for them as well. And if you have a solid date to ask your friends, it goes way better than it would if you just were like willy-nilly and be like, yeah, go poll your friends and see what they think. You'll never hear from them again. You always want to make it sound like you have a completely full calendar. So I always like to say things like, I have this date and this date left. Oh, I have 2 spots left for my virtuals to start this week. I have 1 spot left. Because, women, it's like having the last little, on sale sweater at the store. It's like the last one that's in your size and you need to have it. That's kind of what you want to make them feel like.
And eventually that's what your schedule will be like, even if it's not, and you're just saying that, that's what it becomes.
Yes. So I just wanted to go around and say one thing that this business has given you guys that's not the products, but something that it has given you guys that's something positive in your life. So you can type it in the chat or just go ahead and say it. that was kind of surprising to you, or you didn't. So you guys did an awesome one last week. Thank you so much for doing your images. So I believe Jenna did an image, and Rebecca did an image, and there's Angie did an image of something that was unexpected in this business. But there's one thing it's brought to your business, Brittany, since you're on my screen.
It has definitely brought me more friends. I found I didn't really like hanging out with people before, so it's made it more fun to go out and hang out with adults and just have fun.
Love that. What about Terry? We'll see if she's there, Miss Black Screen.
Hi, I'm here. You know what? It's all of you. Seeing all of you girls all the time, and it's been a huge group of wonderful women.
Yay. That's awesome.
And a couple men.
What about you, Jenna?
I said, and a couple men.
And a couple men.
Currently, it's just been drive and motivation again. It's nice to have a goal and reach it. I have a full-time job, but we're kind of in transition, and I missed that from my job previously. I'm getting to it, actually. I just got a few more things that will help me get there again, but that's what it's brought back to me, is setting a goal and actually getting it and reaching it.
Nice. Love it. What would be, Jenna, while you're chatting, what would be like your one piece of advice for people who are looking to promote this month, or was one thing that you think really benefited? Like, what's your piece of advice?
Never give up.
Yes.
It wasn't till Saturday night that I signed the last person and moved her party over to her, and like, I think we didn't actually hit submit until Sunday, and it was like, can we just hit submit already?
Yes.
So just never give up. You stack your calendar, like you said, for the beginning of the month, because I had the dollars, I had the numbers. I just needed to get some people, which allowed me to wait till the last minute, of course, to finalize some of those.
Yes. That's awesome. Rebecca says confidence, especially talking in front of people. What about you, Mish? Mish also promoted a director as of 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Lisa Weens is back.
She's back.
Woohoo!
Stronger than ever. Way stronger. Oh yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, just seeing promotions like that, Jenna, seeing you go from having a new kit in your hand, not knowing what to do, to promoting to director. That is why I love doing what I'm doing. It's so rewarding and it's heartwarming to continue that and see that. When I started, it was just the products. I wanted just a product, but that changes quickly.
Yes, it's true. What about you, Christine?
Probably it's the learning to not care as much about what other people think when they say no.
Love
Kind
that.
of boundaries I kind of been working on this year.
Right.
And
Love
not
that.
really caring when someone says no. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that is a good feeling. I agree. That's like empowering. Angie says adventures, being able to pay for new things and meeting new real people who have quickly become my friends. She thought we'd be a bunch of weirdos, cultish. Lock the doors. You're signing up.
Little does she know that still is the case.
Still the case. What about Sherry?
I like the support. I just like the whole support system. I like the fact that I think, honestly, for the most part, I think people really do genuinely care what happens between us. You know, it's building up instead of building down or breaking down. And it doesn't always go smooth for all of us. So when we're having a rough day and we put a chat in, there's always somebody there quick to go, come on, you can do this, rah, rah, try this. I like to be a rah, rah person too, but there are days that I need rah, rahing too. So I really like that.
All of us do, Sherry.
All of us. That's just the roller coaster of direct sales. We all have days where you wake up and you go, what the hell am I doing? Don't
Well,
worry.
the whole month of September has been, what the hell? How am I going to keep directorship? I'll tell you, I'm struggling right now. So,
yeah, good thing we're coming into the good months. I promise. Good days be coming. Are you out of jail?
what?
Are you out of jail?
Yes, as of this morning.
Yay!
But I've basically been in since June.
Oh.
So
States
we'll
of-
see
so-
how it goes.
Because of doing this with, with virtual parties, we are going to go through things in the next few years. We're just going to have to link arms and get through it together because we're all going to go through it together, and we're just going to have to figure it out. We're going to all go through obstacles. We've all been jailed quite a bit, but we got our regular clothes on, not our orange jumpsuits. Woohoo!
Yeah, mine's on the hanger. It's in the wash. I'm sure it'll be back. But and I think it's funny because I've had it so much since June, and I was just chatting with Andrea a couple of days ago, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't know what to do. And then, like, literally about a day later, I got the invite to do the pilot project for Squeak.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, there's
Yeah,
somebody looking out there.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Natalie says, I'm with Sherry. The support network is awesome. Didn't have that at my corporate job, so it's very refreshing. Yay. What about you, Emily?
Look at that cutie pie.
The support definitely. Oh, my has been a big always coming back stronger. Yes, Sarah, I'm you've done. And confidence. So being actually able to confident and and doing the trade show out there. My last trade show that I was at, the person I was with really pushed me out of the booth and said, "Go talk to that person," and I thanked them for doing that as well. So, yes.
Who pushed you out of the booth?
Was it me or you?
Yeah, that's good. Teamwork. I love it.
What about Kelsey?
Where's Kelsey? There she is.
Kelsey says the support and learning so much from the groups and other consultants. What about Trina? Did you already ask Trina?
I think for me, it's just the potential of all of this, right? It's just like, I don't know, like everyone has said, right? Through the support, through the business, through everything. Like I look at our leadership team and I think how much room there is, and just, you know, there's ups and downs and we've all been through them, but I think if you stick with it and if you just believe in what the potential can be and you just grow, like I never thought I'd be where I am like right now in this business. Like when I would see the numbers as just a consultant, you know, I'd look at like Jill and I'd look at like, you know, Andrea, like yourself, and, you know, not that you're ever comparing yourself, but yeah, you look at those numbers and you think, how can I ever do that? Like, how am I ever going to achieve that? And then like not even a year and a half in this business and it's like, oh, here I am. Like you can do it. Right. So I think it's just believing in that potential and just setting your goals. And I don't know. Yeah. For me, the friendships, the mentorship, paychecks are nice. Like it's all just, I don't know. Sometimes I have to pinch myself because I'm like, is this for real?
Yay. Really quick. What about Sarah? Shoot the loop. Oh, hold on. Unmute. Let's unmute you. Where are you?
Okay.
There we go.
I think a good summary of all. Number one is confidence. I never thought I could do that. I was like the girl in school that really didn't, like I was in the corner and whatever else. Like I didn't do that. So it's been pretty great. And also honestly, like the rush of a wicked month or a wicked party or something is like, oh my gosh, like when they buy the blender at full price, or you have like over $1,000 party or whatever, or you're like down, you're screwing up after being up and down. The rushes are great, and obviously all of everybody and the support is insane. So yes,
Ooh, love that. The rush. That's so true. That's like a high. I always say that's like a high. It's hard to get anywhere else. You know, that's such a nice high. So here's my mind moment for you. So if we don't offer the business to other people, we're taking away all of these things from other people. So if we don't offer this, and, you know, this is what Pampered Chef brings to people's life. And we're literally changing lives doing this business. So when you're asking somebody to, you know, like, have you ever thought about doing something like this? It has nothing to do with you and you promoting. It has to do with, you know that how much fun they could have with this, how much it could increase their confidence. So if you come at it like from a place like that, you're really, if your intention behind it is that, especially somebody who's like, I really don't have any money, and all of a sudden you're going to give them money to do things with their family, like that is amazing. All right, we have 1:42 left on the on our call. Anybody have any questions? Our homework is.
Question.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
So you were talking about taking people for coffee when you recruit as an interview. So when I get to that point with all my potentials, they tend to all of a sudden shut me out. So I want to know kind of what you say to get them there.
So I normally will look at my schedule and I'll be like, hey, are you free for me to take you for a coffee tomorrow at 6 p.m.? The magic word is toenails. And sorry, and thanks for reminding me. And then, so that's kind of what I always do is like, my time is precious and I'm going to find some time that works for you. So you can be like, hey, does this time or this time work for me to take you for a coffee? And just like a show, you're going to give them one of two options to choose from. And you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So don't feel like you're going to say the wrong thing. There's, you know, they're going to do it or they're not. There's nothing, you're not going to mess it up in any way. And your homework is to tell your apron story, so why you started and why you stay on the team page. And of course, our 25 contacts with two-way communication. And 4 virtuals per week. Ask your host 5 times. We are going to brainwash that into you forever. I need 2 more bookings to start tomorrow. Damn.